Good morning everyone. This is class 12th subject chemistry chapter 7 of NCERT book P block elements, lecture number 11. In this lecture I will be discussing interhalogen compounds and the introduction of group 18th elements. And at the end I will discuss the homework that I gave you in lecture number 10. So first we start with the interhalogen compounds. So here are four types of interhalogen compounds. First is XX- type, XX-3 type, XX-5 type, XX-7 type. And here are the examples of four types where X is large size halogen and X- is small size halogen. So these are the interhalogen compounds. Now we will start with preparation of interhalogen compounds. The interhalogen compounds can be prepared by the direct combination or by the action of halogen on lower interhalogen compounds. And the product formed depends upon some specific conditions. For example, first is when we treat chlorine with fluorine in presence of, or you can say that when we take chlorine and fluorine in equal volumes. So chlorine monofluoride is formed, that is the interhalogen compounds. Now next preparation is if we take chlorine in excess, that is if we treat iodine with chlorine, and if chlorine is taking in excess, then here we are getting ICl3, that is again an interhalogen compound. So these are the preparation of interhalogen compound. Third preparation is if we treat chlorine with fluorine and fluorine is taken in excess, then here we are getting chlorine trifluoride, which is again an interhalogen compound. Fourth is if we treat bromine with fluorine and both are diluted with water, so here we are getting XX-3 type compound, that is BrF3. Next preparation is if we take equimolar amount of, that is if we treat I2 and Cl2 in equimolar proportion, then here we are getting ICl, which is again an interhalogen compound. Next preparation is, that is preparation of BrF5 if we take Br2 in presence of fluorine, and here fluorine is in excess. So here we are getting BrF5, which is an interhalogen compounds. So these are the preparation of some of the interhalogen compounds. Now we will discuss the properties of interhalogen compounds. So in properties of interhalogen compounds, I will be discussing physical state and color. So first type is XX-, where X is large size halogen and X- is small size halogen. So these are the examples of this type. First is ClF, that is chlorine monofluoride. It is a colorless gas, whereas BrF5, that is bromine monofluoride, is a pale brown gas. BrCl, that is bromine monochloride, is a gas, that is colorless gas. And fourth is IBr, that is a black solid. So these are the examples in first type. Next type is XX-3 type, and these are the examples of this type. ClF3, which is a colorless gas, BrF3 is a yellow-green liquid, IF3 is a yellow powder, and ICl3 is an orange solid. Now we will discuss the structure of XX-3 type. So in XX-3 we are taking the example of ClF3. Here chlorine is the central atom and fluorines are side atom. Now chlorine has 7 valence electron. Out of these 7 electrons, 3 will participate in the bond formation with these fluorine atoms. Now 3 electrons participate in the bond formation with 3 chlorine. Now 4 electrons are left on chlorine. 4 electrons means 2 lone pair of electrons. So according to Vesper theory, it is of the type AB3L2, where A is central atom, and in this example A represents chlorine, B represents fluorine, and here B3. These 3 fluorine atoms are B, and L2 represents number of lone pair of electron. So in this example we have 2 lone pair of electron. So when we have 3 bond pair and 2 lone pair, the shape is bent T shape. So this is the structure of XX-3 type. Third type is XX-5, and these are the examples of this type. IF5, which is a colorless gas, whereas BRF5 is a colorless liquid, and also ClF5 is a colorless liquid. Now again we will discuss the structure of XX-5, and this can be explained by taking the example of IF5. Now here iodine is in center and these 5 fluorine atoms are side atoms. Now again iodine has 7 valence electrons. Now 5 electrons of iodine, they will form bond with these 5 fluorines, and after that 2 electrons are left. 2 electrons are left means one lone pair of electrons. So this is of the type AB5L according to Vesper theory, where A represents iodine, B represents fluorine, and this L represents one lone pair of electron. So if we have the type AB5L, then the shape is square pyramidal. So IF5 is square pyramidal, or you can say that XX-5 is square pyramidal in nature. That is square pyramidal by structure. Next we have XX-7, and in XX-7 the example is IF7, which is a colorless gas, and the structure is pentagonal bipyramidal. So this is the pentagonal bipyramidal where iodine is in center and these 7 fluorines are side atoms, and all the electrons participate in the bond formation, that is all the 7 electron of iodine form bond with these 7 fluorine. So this is all about the physical state, color and structure of interhalogen compounds. Next is interhalogen compounds. They are covalent molecules and are diamagnetic in nature. Now next is interhalogen compounds are more reactive than halogens except fluorine. That is, fluorine is more reactive than interhalogen compounds, while other halogens are less reactive than interhalogen compounds, and this can be explained on the basis of bond strength between X and X dash. So this is our interhalogen compounds XX dash, where X and X dash are different, and here we are X2, both X are same. Now interhalogen compounds are more reactive because XX bond in interhalogen is weaker than XX bond in halogens, and that is why interhalogen compounds are more reactive. Next is interhalogen compounds undergo hydrolysis, and the product of hydrolysis is different for different types. So first is when we treat XX type of interhalogen compounds with water. So the product is HX dash plus HOX, where X dash is small size halogen and X is large size halogen. So the example is ClF plus H2O. So this F is small size halogen atom and this chlorine is large size halogen atom. So here we are getting HF plus HOCl, that is hypochlorous acid. Now second type is XX-3 plus water. So again we are getting HX dash plus HXO2, and the example is ClF3, where this fluorine represents X dash and this X is represented by chlorine. So the product is again HF plus HClO2, that is known as chlorous acid. Now third type is if we treat XX-5 with water. So again here we are getting HX dash plus HXO3, and example is ClF5 plus H2O. So here F is small size halogen, so the product is HF plus HClO3. Now fourth is XX-7 plus H2O. So here we are getting HX dash plus HXO4, that is per. If we are taking the example of IF7 plus H2O, so it will give HF plus HiO4, that is per iodic acid. So these are the hydrolysis product of interhalogen compounds. Next is uses of interhalogen compounds. These compounds can be used as non-aqueous solvents, and the interhalogen compounds are strong fluorinating agent, and that is why ClF3, that is chlorine trifluoride, and bromine trifluoride is used for the production of UF6. So these are the uses of interhalogen compounds. Next we will discuss group 18 elements. Group 18 consists of 6 elements: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. All these are gases and chemically unreactive. They form very few compounds. Because of this, they are termed as noble gases. So group 18 elements are also known as noble gases. Now the symbol for helium is He and atomic number is 2. Whereas for neon it is Ne and the atomic number is 10. For argon the symbol is Ar and the atomic number is 18. For krypton it is Kr and the atomic number is 36. Whereas for xenon the symbol is Xe and the atomic number is 54. And for radon the symbol is Rn and the atomic number is 86. Now these are the electronic configuration of group 18th elements. First we have helium. So electronic configuration is 1s2. Second for neon the atomic number is 10. So the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. And for 1s2 we can write as helium. So these are the electronic configuration in terms of noble gases. Now if we talk about the occurrence of group 18th elements, so all the noble gases except radon occur in the atmosphere, and their atmospheric abundance in dry air is 1% by volume, out of which argon is the major constituent. Helium and sometimes neon are found in the minerals of radioactive origin. So this helium and neon are found in radioactive origin, whereas xenon and radon are the rarest element of this group, and radon is obtained as a decay product of radium. So this is all about the occurrence of group 18th elements. Now we will discuss some atomic properties of group 18 elements. First is electronic configuration. So group 18 elements has valence electronic configuration is Ns2 Np6, that is all the noble gases has 8 electron in the outermost shell except helium, that is for helium the electronic configuration is 1s2. Next is ionization enthalpy. Now if we compare the ionization enthalpy of group 18 with all other groups present in the periodic table, then this group has highest value of ionization enthalpy because the electronic configuration is stable, that is it has 8 electron in the outermost shell, and that is the stable electronic configuration. But if we talk about the ionization enthalpy of group 18 elements, so when we move down in the group, that is from helium to radon, so ionization enthalpy decreases because of addition of new shells. Here for example in neon n is equal to 2 is valence shell, but when we move to argon n equal to 3 will become the outermost shell. So when we move down in a group, the number of shells increases and therefore the attraction between the nucleus and the outermost electron decreases, and that is why ionization enthalpy decreases down the group. Third is atomic radii. So when we move down in a group, atomic radii increases because of increase in number of shells. So this is the reason for increase in atomic radii of group 18 elements. Now next is electron gain enthalpy. Fourth is electron gain enthalpy. So since noble gases have stable electronic configuration, they have no tendency to accept the electron, and therefore they have large positive values of electron gain enthalpy, or you can say that electron gain enthalpy of noble gases is positive because they have stable electronic configuration and there is no tendency to accept the electron. That is why the value for electron gain enthalpy is positive. So after doing this, the homework for today's class is draw the structure of BrF3, ClF5, ClF3, IF3 and IF7 and NCERT exercise question number 39. Now I will be discussing the homework that I gave you in lecture number 10. So first is in-text questions. Question number 29. Give the reason for bleaching action of Cl2. So Cl2 in water, that is aqueous solution of Cl2, gives HCl plus nascent oxygen, and this nascent oxygen is responsible for the bleaching action. Next question is, name two poisonous gases which can be prepared from chlorine gas. And the answer for this question is phosgene and tear gas are the two poisonous gas which can be prepared from chlorine. Next is NCERT exercise questions. Question number 26. Write two uses of ClO2. So ClO2 is used as a bleaching agent for paper pulp and it is also used in water treatment. Next question is, how can you prepare chlorine from HCl and HCl from chlorine? Write reactions only. So these are the reactions. First is manganese dioxide when we treat with HCl. So here we are getting Cl2, and when we treat H2 with Cl2 in presence of sunlight, so here we are getting HCl. So these are the two preparations. That is, first is from HCl we are getting Cl2, and second is with the help of chlorine HCl is obtained. Next question is, write the balanced equation. First is NaCl is heated with sulfuric acid in the presence of MnO2. So NaCl plus H2SO4 plus MnO2. This is the preparation of chlorine. So here we are getting chlorine, along with chlorine MnCl2, NaHSO4, that is sodium hydrogen sulfate, and water are formed. So this is the balanced equation for first part. Now next is, chlorine gas is passed into a solution of sodium iodide in water. So here we have Cl2 and this is the aqueous solution of sodium iodide, that is sodium iodide in water. So here we are getting sodium chloride plus iodine. So this is the reaction when we pass chlorine gas in aqueous solution of sodium iodide. Next question is, with what neutral molecule is ClO negative isoelectronic? Is that molecule a Lewis base? So isoelectronic species are those which has same number of electrons. So if we replace this O negative with fluorine, so in O negative we have 9 electrons. So if we replace this O negative with fluorine, so this is the neutral molecule ClF, and here on chlorine we have lone pair of electrons, so they can be used for the formation of ClF3, and that is why this ClF neutral molecule will act as a Lewis base. So these are the questions I gave you in lecture number 10. Thank you. Have a nice day.